If God could take care of an entire nation in the wilderness for 40 years, he could take care of you. So let me ask you, are you more dependent on the world system or are you dependent on God? Have you ever been in a situation where you were waiting for God to come through in an area of your life, where you weren't sure where something was going to come from? If you have, you are not alone. Some of you know, and if you don't, you're going to find out now, is I wrote a book called Taking the 5 Leaps. And when God led me to write this book, the first story he took me to was the struggle I had after my husband and I left our full-time jobs. I remember sitting in an office of a financial advisor, and they were asking us all of these questions. We had done something that any financial advisor that's a good financial advisor would tell you not to do, which was pull out my husband's retirement so that we can try and get the ministry going, and so that we were able to just take care of our day-to-day living. And as any financial advisor would say, he was like, what are you doing and why in the world would you do that? And I didn't have answers. And it was at that moment I remember leaving out of there and just bawling in tears, because I'm like, God, what are we doing? Out of all the people in the world to pick to do this, why us? And I know I'm not the only one who has had these nudges from the Holy Spirit leading us to do something that feels completely crazy, and to walk away from our job, leave what we know to be our source of income, and step out into just unknown. But essentially, what I want us to understand is that God always gives provision. There's always provision for anything he asks us to do. But if you are in a situation right now where you might be working already full time and you are living barely paycheck to paycheck, because paycheck to paycheck nowadays is good, this is for you too. This is a reminder that God is going to provide for you. So I want to talk about 5 ways that God will provide. And I'm going to use the story of how he provided for the children of Israel to parallel to how he will provide for us, his children. The first way is he will show us favor. When we look at the book of Exodus 12:36 says that the Lord caused the Egyptians to look favorably on the Israelites, and they gave the Israelites whatever they asked for. So they stripped the Egyptians of their wealth. Listen, y'all, when the children of Israel left Egypt, they were wealthy. God made sure they had gold, silver, and wealth as they left out of that oppression and out of that slavery. They were favored. And this is the part I love. God gave them favor with the same people who once oppressed them. He will do the same for you and for me. Listen, I like to say favor is for the faithful. Okay. And so he did that with the Egyptians. That's the first thing he did before they even knew that they were going to be set free from this slavery, before they even knew that they were going to have to step into this next place with God. He gave them favor so that when they left, they had provision. Okay. That's the first. The second way is real practical. He made sure they have food and drink. Let's look at it. Exodus 15:27. It says, then they came to Elim, where there were 12 wells of water and 70 palm trees. So they camped there by the water. So let me just give you a little context here. They had just crossed the Red Sea, and now they realized we don't have any water. They were taken far enough away from the Red Sea to realize there's no water out here. My goodness, we are about to die because we're going to be so thirsty. We don't have any water, even though we just saw God part a whole Red Sea of water. Oh my goodness, where's the water going to come from? Right? And y'all, we do that sometimes in our own life. We just saw God do something. I'm guilty of it too. And I'm sitting here like, how's he going to do it? He's going to do it just like he did before. Okay. He's going to do it and even better. Okay. But we just saw that happen. And then what he does for them is he says, okay, y'all, listen, I'm about to test you. And I'm going to see if you really are going to serve me. So what I'm about to do is take you through these series of tests to make sure that your eyes are going to stay on me. But in the meantime, because I am a good father, I'm going to take care of you. And I'm going to have you go into this place where there are 7 wells of water. He gave them water. And then when we continue to read in chapter 16, he turns around and gives them manna and gives them bread and gives them food. And so part of how he will provide is the basics, food and water. Manna literally means, what is it? Because it was something new that they had never seen before. Water from the 7 streams was God miraculously providing water in the driest places. God may provide for you in ways you have never and could never imagine. Him giving 7 wells of water was him providing in a dry place. Lock this story in your memory. The third way that God provides is financially. We saw that he provided for the Israelites by having the Egyptians favor them and give them their wealth. Well, let's go back to that. When we look at Exodus 12:35-36, it says, "Now the children of Israel had done according to the word of Moses, and they had asked from the Egyptian articles of silver, articles of gold, and clothing. And the Lord had given the people favor in the sight of the Egyptians, so that they granted them what they requested. Thus, they plundered the Egyptians." The fourth way that God provides is through guidance. Let's take a look at Exodus 13:21-22. "And the Lord went before them by day in a pillar of cloud to lead the way, and by night in a pillar of fire to give them light, so as to go by day and night. He did not take away the pillar of cloud by day or the pillar of fire by night from before the people." One thing that I love about this is that we get to see that even for the children of Israel, he was always present. He was present during the day, he was present during the night, and he was always leading them. God's provision isn't just physical. He provides direct wisdom and the right people around us to help us to stay on the path that he has set before us. He gives us guidance. We don't have to be wanderers upon the earth. He will guide and lead us. And the fifth and final way that God will provide for us in the same way he provided for the children of Israel is that he will sustain our needs. Let's take a look at Deuteronomy 29:5. It said, "And I have led you 40 years in the wilderness. Your clothes have not worn out on you, and your sandals have not worn out on your feet." Listen, imagine wearing the same shoes for 40 years. The same clothes for 40 years, and they never wear. God does not just provide, y'all. He sustains us. That means that he keeps taking care of us physically. He takes care of what we need emotionally. He sustains us. He's not a God that's just like, okay, I'm going to tell you to do something and then just go about your life and hopefully you get it done well. No, he is with us every step of the way. Psalm 37:25, it says, "I have been young and now am old, yet I have never seen the righteous forsaken, nor his descendants begging bread." He takes care of us, y'all. And then in Philippians 4:19, it reminds us that God will provide all of our needs according to his riches and glory. God will provide. If God could take care of an entire nation in the wilderness for 40 years, he could take care of you. So let me ask you, are you more dependent on the world system or are you dependent on God? Let's talk about it in the comments. I pray that this conversation blessed you, that it ministered to you. Go back, rewind, watch it as many times as you need to be reminded that God is going to take care of you. And as always, remember that time with God is time you will never regret spending. So make sure this week you're getting that time with God.